Thank you, and hello, and thank you for clicking on the help video. In this example, we have that the cost of making a picture frame can be modeled by this equation, and C is going to be the cost, and the variable X represents the square inches of plastic needed to make the frame. So C is the cost, and X is the number of plastic or the square inches of plastic to make the frame. Now, how many inches of plastic are needed to minimize the cost? So we're asking to identify the X value to minimize, again, the cost of minimize C. Well, because this is a quadratic equation, we can find that by identifying again the vertex to our quadratic, finding again the location of this value here. Now, because it's saying it's a minimum, the parabola is opening in the wrong direction according to my diagram, and it should not be opening upwards, or I'm sorry, downwards. It should be opening in the opposite direction, upwards. That's going to create a minimum value again at the vertex. So to identify how many, again, to find the X value that's going to create again the minimum, we're looking for the X coordinates to this vertex right there, which we can find by using the formula that we use to identify the axis of symmetry, to identify the vertical line that goes through the vertex that cuts this parabola into two equal parts, which is negative b divided by 2a. Now the values of b come from the equation where this number is the value of a and this number is the value of b. So plugging those in, we're going to get the negative of negative 6 divided by 2 times the value of a, which is 0.3. Which I believe is going to be 10. I think we end up with 10. Let me use decimals just to double check, okay? All right, so look, here I have the equation. Let me hide it for right now. I don't want to actually rely again on the graph. So we have divide, we're going to get the negative of our b value, like I said, negative 6, and 2 will be divided by 0.3, yep, which like I said is 10. So the minimum is occurring when X is equal to 10. So when they use 10 square inches of plastic and no more than that, that's going to minimize the cost. So our answer right now is 10. Now, what is the minimum cost of that? Well, to do that, using again X, I'm going to replace the X value with this number of 10, and that's going to evaluate C of 10. And since 10 is the minimum, the location of the minimum, we're going to determine again the minimum cost. So C of 10 equals to 0.3 x squared, 10 squared minus 6 times 10 plus 260. Oh, wrong, not there, not there, not there. Let me enter. And let's do it in this line. So 0.3, our x value is going to be replaced with 10. And we get a total of 230. So when x is 10, C of 10 is 230, which is going to be the minimum cost. It's only going to cost $230 to make picture frames using only 10 square inches of plastic. Now, you could have gotten these two numbers again just by looking at the vertex to this parabola. So again, we end up with that. If we graph it as I had it earlier and I find that vertex, notice that I have the exact same two numbers, the x value of 10, where the vertex is located at, and the value of 230, which is the value of the vertex, again, the minimum value. So we have that our minimum value is at 10 and the actual value itself is 230. So you can again do that. The only thing I avoid doing is relying against into decimals, because again, had these been decimals, as I explained in the other problem, you might not get again the exact answer, which is what we're looking for. So again, know how to do this using again the formula to find the x value and what to do with that value to find the y value for this position of the vertex. I hope this video was helpful and I appreciate you watching.